Some names fade with time, but others echo through history forever. Whenever I think about true greatness, one name always stands above the rest: Alexander the Great. Born in 356 BC in Pella, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Macedon, Alexander entered a world already filled with ambition and conflict. His father, King Philip II, was one of the greatest military leaders of his time, while his mother, Olympias, believed her son was destined for something extraordinary. From an early age, Alexander displayed a fearless spirit that set him apart from other children. One of the most famous stories from his childhood tells of a wild horse named Bucephalus that no one could tame. As experienced warriors failed one after another, the young prince noticed that the horse was frightened by its own shadow. Calmly turning the horse toward the sun, Alexander mounted it and rode away, astonishing everyone around him. His father proudly declared that Macedon was too small for a son with such courage and urged him to seek a kingdom worthy of his dreams. As Alexander grew older, he was educated by the brilliant philosopher Aristotle, who taught him science, literature, medicine, ethics, and the art of leadership. But Alexander wanted more than knowledge; he wanted to leave a legacy that would outlive him. He admired the legendary hero Achilles and dreamed of achieving immortal glory through courage and determination. At just 20 years old, after the assassination of his father, Alexander inherited the throne of Macedon. Many enemies believed the young king would be weak and easy to defeat. Instead, he responded with remarkable confidence, crushing rebellions and uniting Greece under his command. That was only the beginning. Standing before his army, Alexander looked east toward the mighty Persian Empire, the greatest superpower of the ancient world. While others saw an impossible challenge, he saw an opportunity to change history forever. With unwavering faith in himself and the loyalty of his soldiers, he crossed into Asia, beginning one of the most extraordinary military campaigns the world has ever known. It was the first step in a journey that would transform a young king into one of history's greatest legends. As Alexander marched deeper into Asia, victory after victory turned what once seemed impossible into reality. He defeated the mighty Persian forces at the battles of Issus and Gaugamela, where his courage, brilliant strategy, and willingness to fight alongside his soldiers inspired unmatched loyalty. Before long, the powerful Persian king, Darius III, was forced to flee, and Alexander entered the magnificent city of Babylon as a conqueror. Yet he dreamed of more than winning battles. He wanted to unite cultures, encourage trade, and build cities that would spread knowledge for generations. Throughout his campaigns, he founded more than 20 cities, many of them named Alexandria, creating lasting centers of learning and civilization. His ambition carried him across deserts, towering mountains, and unfamiliar lands until he reached India, where his exhausted army finally refused to march any farther. Although disappointed, Alexander respected his soldiers' wishes and began the long journey home. But fate had one final surprise. In 323 BC, while in Babylon, Alexander suddenly became gravely ill. After days of suffering, the man who had conquered one of the largest empires in history died at only 32 years old. His death remains one of history's greatest mysteries, with theories ranging from illness to poisoning, but no one knows the truth for certain. His empire was eventually divided among his generals, yet his influence never disappeared. More than 2,000 years later, Alexander the Great is still remembered not simply because he won battles, but because he dared to dream beyond the limits of his time. His life reminds me that greatness isn't measured only by how much power we gain, but by the courage to pursue impossible dreams, inspire others, and leave a legacy that outlives us. Every time I think about Alexander's journey, I'm reminded that age doesn't define destiny, obstacles don't decide the future, and true legends are remembered not because they lived long lives, but because they lived extraordinary ones. His story continues to inspire millions around the world, proving that determination, vision, and fearless leadership can change the course of history forever.